Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me over the program for tonight in the studio Dr. Wael Hossam, the AI pioneer and the HR and digital transformation expert. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate, and the Happy Ramadan.
Hello, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you so much. Happy Ramadan to you and your audience. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege.
Anytime. The pleasure is all mine. Of course, we did see the importance, and we did speak about the importance in the past report about the social protection programs that were implemented by the Egyptian government under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, but more specifically ahead of the holy fasting month of Ramadan. How do you see the importance of applying those measures?
Well, actually, let me start by laying some foundations here to lead the debate right between me and you. I know that you're a hard debater, so give me the privilege of laying the foundation. Why am I concerned with such an important topic?
Yes.
From HR point of view, as an HR expert, I believe that knowing and comprehending the total landscape of the Egyptian economy, and of course on the micro level, related to the macro level of the economy, understanding the status of the human resources, which is of course the great factor of Egyptian economy, understanding these factors and the layout of Egyptians, especially this quite decent percentage of the Egyptians, helps us to program and plan for the future, which should be of course within the strategic plan of the country. It was developed and devised by the Ministry of Planning, since of course we've seen the vision for 2030 of Egypt, and now we're going forward. So as HR expert, digital transformation activist, it's my privilege to watch, monitor and reflect on these statuses.
Yes, Doctor, you mentioned a very important point, the digital transformation. How would you assess the progress that we have had in this field, and more specifically related to the social protection programs in terms of distributing the resources of the government and the resources of the state to every family of Egypt?
Well, I think it's quite obvious for everyone in Egypt that for quite like a decade now, we've been watching and seeing the filtration process for the people who are eligible to receive the subsidiary, for example. We've seen this filtration in complementary act between the different types of data. As of course, all Egyptians monitored how some people were filtered out who used to have large income, who doesn't of course inquire or require to have subsidiary or cash supplement. Of course, the people who has their kids in high paying schools, the people who has several cars or so on. It's an indicator of the economic status of these families, so that they are eligible or not eligible to such a subsidiary.
On the other hand, the digital transformation in itself over the past decade under the tenure of President al-Sisi, as you mentioned, how far have we come in this field for the benefit of the Egyptians in general, not just the social protection programs?
Well, I will start by the code by President Sisi himself. He said that we've done a good job, we've done a great job, however, we still have a lot to do. We still have some greater effort to do.
Yes.
We've seen and witnessed some advancements on the digital transformation, the infrastructure of digital transformation in Egypt. We've seen some efforts in supporting the digital entrepreneurs and of course the new startups and so on. We have seen the government applying those digital transformation mechanisms, and now we can see everywhere, for example, like in the major cities, you can see how traffic is controlled by cameras, which is actually it enhanced the level of accidents and decreased it a lot.
Yes. You've mentioned that there is a lot to do, according to the statements made by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the field of digital transformation. What can we expect in the future, and more specifically for the upcoming 5 to 10 years?
Well, the progress that we are making now on this very issue indicates that now we are targeting more specifically to those people who are eligible to receive the subsidies. The cash transfer now targets it's more or less its specified category to have it. Now we are targeting 10 million families, which is barely 30 million people.
Yes.
It's quite a large number. But before talking about this, I believe that I need to lay another foundation if we're speaking about the economic status. I would like to start by comprehending why are we applying these programs. From economic point of view, we are supporting the people in need in order to flourish, not only survive, but flourish as well. For example, Takaful program was made for was created for those families who have children. Why that?
Yes.
To support them raise their children, educate them well, feed them well, maintain their health conditions in order to be active labor in their future. Hence, support the economic progress, be employed, and support the main skeleton of the Egyptian economy by being productive. So if we look at the landscape of the subsidiary program,
Yes.
it's not just commitment towards needy people, it's commitment towards the progress of our country. We have a great example like China. China, like 1997, they had 70% of their population under poverty line, 70%, if you believe it.
Yes.
Now, they have barely 0.1% under poverty line because of the progress they made with the subsidiaries and so on. They supported education, health, and employment, and of course that helped China to be the second economy.
Are we doing the same steps now?
We are going on the same route. The thing is, we need we need further collaboration. We need engagement from the private sector.
Yes.
We need engagement from all stakeholders for the Egyptian economy. And I believe the boost is going to be made much more faster than China.
Because you mentioned that it took them about 30 years to be reaching from this percentage to this percentage, from 70% under the poverty line to 0.1 nowadays. Do we need 30 more years, or maybe 15 or 20?
It took them like 15 years,
15.
And then they became on the rise.
Yes.
Now, for the last survey on 2023 for China, they are 0.1. So I believe now they are even less. So I believe it would take us 10 to 15 years with consistent work. Once again, we've done a great job and we need to do a lot more. Of course, we've noticed this economic movement recently. We believe that, or we all admit that people are in crisis because of the rising prices and inflation and so on, but this is an indication of the economic move. The thing is, we need to harness it, to work more on educating our people, on raising their health, helping them by employment, by creating more jobs. This will help the whole economy to go forward.
Yes, speaking of the economy, you've mentioned, Doctor, as well, the importance of the infrastructure that we have had a leap in the past decade under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, because we have had some criticism or some skepticism from the Egyptian citizens about the importance and why are we doing this, why are we having thousands of kilometers of new roads, the bridges, the new cities, the 5G cities and the 4G cities and the new administrative capital. We were asking ourselves, why is this happening? Do we know now why it is important to be having all those infrastructure elements?
It is such a brilliant question, actually.
Thank you.
Because the answer in itself, the question it means creating more jobs. Constructing such a huge infrastructure and new cities actually in itself is creating new jobs for the people who need labor, for the people who need employment, which this category, of course, with the irregular labor, they fall under the new subsidies that are made before Ramadan. We've all learned that they are eligible to £1,500 per each before Ramadan to help them in Ramadan. Actually, with the youth and the young people who are able to work, the whole infrastructure creates more employment, which of course supports their families. It's all related, and we need to understand this so we can all help each other.
And you also mentioned the importance of having more entrepreneurs and the entrepreneurship in the field of artificial intelligence and digital transformation here in Egypt. Do you think that we are on the rise in terms of having a new culture, a new mindset for the youth who are graduating college and maybe even not graduating college, but they have this mindset of having their own business, to be their own entrepreneurs in the future? Do you think that this will be happening?
Well, actually, it's another clever area that we need to look on.
Yes.
Egyptians are known for their ability to learn well. They are fast learners. They are fast adapters, and of course, they have this ability to innovate. Egyptians are known for their unexpected solutions for whatever problem.
Yes.
And this is why, actually, they make this great difference when they travel abroad. Why that? Because they are actually they have this talent embedded. Now, with the focus on educating them on the technical education that we're doing, we all have tried having this labor in our homes to fix like the electricity and so on.
Yes.
You will find this young man is very clever without a proper education. What if we gave him this proper education, such as the programs that are running now in Egypt? It is guaranteed for us. Actually, we've seen through the past 3 years this attack from abroad on our talents. If you believe, for the last conference I attended last week, I was speaker there, and I met this businessman from a neighbor country. We saluted each other, and he asked me directly, how are you doing with the brain drain? They know that we are targeted. They know that we are talented people, and they want to, of course, get the advantage of our skilled labor.
Yes, and through the artificial intelligence and the technology that we are having nowadays and the digital transformation, how do we ensure that the vulnerable families here in the country, they get and they receive the social protection programs and the measures that were implemented, especially for the holy fasting month of Ramadan?
Very good question. Actually, we should harness the infrastructure that we've developed. We should harness the communication means that we've developed. We have these lines, these specified lines for complaints and so on. We have, of course, these points of data that we should integrate. AI would help us a lot with this. Let me tell you that I saw it already with many incidents in my daily affairs, like from going to the traffic and then going to the tax authority. I find that things are related together. And I believe that with AI now in place, and with our brilliant, dedicated people with the Ministry of Communication, they are doing a great job, actually. I believe that they will help us a lot with a lot of reports. We've seen, of course, the reports from the Ministry of Finance. You can't help but saying it was made by a good technology infrastructure that gathered the data right, and the analysis was made by advanced technology, of course.
We also spoke about the importance of eligibility for the citizens and the families that need this support, and those need that the measures that were implemented, the programs that are being directed to those families and for those citizens. How do you see the importance of the criteria that should be very clear for everyone to see? that this is eligible to be receiving the program and to be receiving the assistance, and another one who wouldn't be receiving it?
Well, actually, it is a critically important thing, because we understand now that these programs should be designed to be specific, to have a project mindset, to have a beginning and an end. It's not for life, and it should target a specific purpose and elevate it, then move to the other. Actually, we've seen this model in Egypt, and it made a great success. It's an initiative-based thing, like the 100 million healthy person. It was an initiative, and it was done by the partnership between the government and the private sector.
Yes.
Also, or moreover, with the collaboration with international entities. It made a huge success. That's of course, it's a role model to be studied abroad. On the same model, now we are running initiatives, as you see. It's the initiative of Ramadan. It's the initiative of building Takaful and Karama. It started 2016, I remember, and it addressed 1.8 million people. Now it's 5.2 million. It's an indicator of the success. The number is larger. Actually, it's multiplied by 3 times almost.
Yes.
Which indicates the success of the initiative and the program itself.
On the other hand, you've mentioned the importance of the health initiatives like the Virus C initiative, for example, the 100 million healthy persons or healthy people here in Egypt. How do you see the importance of those initiatives, the presidential initiatives made by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the government in the field of health, in the field of social protection, in the field of housing as well? How do you see the importance of having those initiatives over the past 10 years and their impact on the upcoming 10 or 20 years as well?
Okay. Once again, let's remind ourselves by the purpose of such initiatives.
Yes.
The initiative is to create or to have healthy people who are well educated, who can work, so they become productive in the country and help the economy progress. From this foundation, if we look at the last 10 years, you're gonna see panoramically that the progress is there. A lot of projects taking place, a lot of initiatives are taking place. The thing is, we need more awareness for people. I understand and I can see that health conditions are not at its best. However, from my point of view, I think that the personal awareness is essential in such a case. The eating habits, for example, it's essential. The medicine taking habits, it is essential. And from the exposure to other nationalities, I've learned that our daily habits when it comes to eating and medicine, it's not that healthy. So we need to raise awareness.
Yes, the eating habits, and more specifically in the month of Ramadan, we have this certain culture, not just for Egypt, but for maybe the Arab world as well. How do you think we could be changing this mindset, this culture of overconsumption, something that we don't need because we're not really that hungry, but we always see the advertisements and we need to be consuming that and we need to be eating this fast food and all that we can see over the past few months before Ramadan in specific. How do you see the importance of changing this mindset, if ever it could be done?
Oh God, Mr. Ahmed, you're pressing my buttons actually, because actually it's, in my mind, it differs a lot in the lives of all of us. This mindset need to be addressed, and by influencers now. We've done with the advertisement thing, we've done with the commercial thing. I believe that now influencers should, and they are the new way of raising awareness worldwide.
But some of them are responsible for the overconsumption too?
This is it. And now we need to have them aligned with us. Fellows, we need to raise economy, and raising economy is not by overconsumption. Actually, the holy month is not meant for that, and we need to understand this a lot, of course. Speaking once again of the health condition that was directed through this campaign in Ramadan, President Sisi and His Excellency Prime Minister Madbouli announced that there are 4 billion Egyptian pounds dedicated to elevating the critical medical cases before Eid. So it complies with the urgency of elevating the sufferers of those critical cases who are waiting for the health measures and so on.
Yes, Doctor, allow me to be going to the other report of the daily debate for tonight, and it focuses on a report by the World Bank saying that Egypt is among the top-ranked players and the top-ranked countries in the Middle East and the North Africa region in terms of the social protection programs and measures implemented, more specifically before the month of Ramadan. Let's see the upcoming report and stay tuned.